Hi, hello.
Hi, Dickson. How are we doing today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you so much. Just allow me no more than a minute to talk a bit about you, as I don't want to eat up on your time. Dickson
Sure, but
Tang.
I just want to make sure my voice is okay. Is my voice loud
Perfect.
and clear? Can you see me?
It sounds like you're sitting in the next room. So fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Um, Dixon, Dickson Tang is a keynote speaker, author, and a facilitator of creative human capital, creativity in future work. He's again a great author. His book, Leadership for the Future of Work, 9 Ways to Build Career Edge Over Robots with Human Creativity, was featured in media such as Forbes, Irish Tech News, and Money FM 89.3. Dickson works with professionals from Cartier, Citec, Telecom, JVC, Kenwood, Montblanc, Novartis, and a host of very large and reputable organizations. Dickson is based in Singapore. It must be what, very late in the evening for you there, Dickson?
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, in the afternoon,
Afternoon, okay, excellent. A lot more about Dickson can be found on our website as well as his, which is dixontang.me. Thank you so much, Dickson, for joining us. Please take it away.
Great, thank you. Okay, so thanks for having me. So let me share my screen here.
Sure.
Okay, great. So first of all, I want to personally welcome all the audience here. So thank you for joining my session. My name is Dickson Tang, and thank you for the organizer, Impact Global, for having me here today. Today, I want to talk to you about learning and development towards the future, 3 ways to build creative human capital in your workforce. To start off, I want to share with you a picture. Okay, what is this picture is about? Okay, so can you type something in the chat? So I'm also monitoring my chat. So can you type something in the chat? What is this about? Anyone want to type in the chat? I'm monitoring my chat right now. So what is it about? Right, this is a picture of a brain. Thank you. What else? A brain. Okay, wonderful. Well, actually, this is something closely related to our profession. Right? This is actually a job of the future, a job of the future. So what does that mean to you? That means for us, we need to set our mind right towards the future. And today, you have come to the right place. Today, this session is about 2 things. Number 1 is, okay, why creativity should be your learning and development top priorities. And secondly, I'm going to share with you how you can build creative human capital in your organization. And so this is the agenda for today. And thanks for joining this session. This is my website, and I'm a keynote speaker, author, and facilitator. I'm based in Singapore. Feel free to connect with me on different social media. I'm happy to share more ideas and also learn from you guys. I'm also the author of this book, Leadership for Future of Work, 9 Ways to Build Career Edge Over Robots with Human Creativity. And some of you ask me, hey, Dickson, why you decided to write this book? Okay, the reason is very simple, because the future of work, future of HR requires creativity. But unfortunately, the traditional school system I went through in Hong Kong and also in Singapore, it does not really teach me to be creative, right? So there's a big gap. So I want to bridge this gap by writing a book. And I also have a YouTube channel. So so you can, I can share with you the link here as well, and to see if I can put it in the chat. So let me put it on the chat. Yeah, so I also have a YouTube channel. So every week I put up some new content, and recently I also put up a couple video on HR. And I also got invited to different HR conferences. And so for today's session is mainly about ideas and inspiration, So today it's not about direct solution to your HR issue. So today I'll aim for ideas and inspiration. And for today, I also have some small gift for you guys. This is to help you understand the more of my content that I'm going to talk about. And at the same time, you can also share all these resources with your internal people, right? So I'm going to put this into the chat as well so that you can grab it. So thanks for joining, everyone. So the first question I often got asked is, hey, Dickson, you talk about this creative human capital, right? Why do we need to care about creativity and creative human capital, right? Couple reasons. Reason number one is LinkedIn research indicate that creativity actually is the #1 soft skills that company need the most. So if your company, if your HR team and your workforce is not paying attention on that, you need to do some catch up. And then the second reason why creativity is important, I want to share with you from this research of this gentleman called Dr. Li Kai-fu, a former Google executive and AI expert. He said 5 types of jobs are subject to AI disruption. Do you want to find out what are the 5 types of jobs subject to AI disruption? Do you want to find out? Okay, so the 5 types of jobs, they are the repetitive, routine, optimizing, complex, and creative. Okay, so what does that mean? Right? That means those jobs like telesales, customer service, like truck driver, security guard, radiologist, all these types of work, it will be disrupted by AI very soon. But what are the opportunity? Right? The opportunity are those jobs of complex nature as well as of this like creative nature. Okay, now you may be wondering, hey Dickson, where is HR? Right? It doesn't mention about HR. Right? Where is it? So basically, the point here is, if you are in the HR, what you need to do is you need to move yourself as well as move your workforce towards the complex and also the creative type of job, right? Which is about ideas, which is about teams work. Okay? So for all other standardized tasks, you need to automate and delegate it out. Right? So that is my advice to all of you here is make sure that you move yourself and the workforce towards the complex and the creative type of work. And so my suggestion to you is in your next HR meeting, when is it, right? You may want to mark the calendar and make sure that you share with them about this creative human capital as well. And make sure that they know how to upskills themselves, right? So mark your calendar, share all this in your upcoming HR meeting. Now, you may be wondering, hey, Dickson, how do you define creativity? So different people define creativity differently, but for me, I define it through this concept of ideas fluency. Right? How fluent you are with idea, right? The same analogy, right? How fluent you are with the foreign language. So there are actually 4 levels in this ideas pyramid. The first one is what I call the no idea, level 1, no ideas. You know you're in level 1, right? If your boss asks you a question and then you try to avoid eye contact with your boss, or someone asks you, hey, what's your opinion? And then you try to look away, right? So you know you're in level 1, right? No idea. Then secondly is what we call the limited idea. That's level 2. You know you are in this level 2 right? When you have some good ideas, but you are too shy to share with others, right? You don't want to share, right? Because you are a bit shy. So that's level 2. Level 3 is what I call the many ideas. And many ideas means you have a lot of ideas, but somehow you don't know how to prioritize it. You are overwhelmed by ideas. So that's level 3. And level 4 is what I call power ideas. Power ideas means you manage to pick 1 or 2 ideas, you go implement, you go experiment it and see if it's worked. And so that's the level 4. So in summary, you have level 1, no ideas. Level 2, limited idea. Level 3, many ideas. Level 4, power ideas. Then my question to you is, which level are you in? Okay, which level are you in? So if you don't mind, right, you can also type it in the chat box, right, so that we can have some interaction. Right? So type in your number, right? Are you in level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4? Right? You can type it in here. Okay, so I will wait for some of your response. Okay, and then at the same time, okay, so level 3. Okay, so thank you, Rija. Thank you, Shashan. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you. So okay, so I'm looking at some of the chat here. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And at the same time, right, you may also want to think about your team, right? The HR team that you're managing or your colleagues that you're working with. Are they creative, right? Where are they in this idea pyramid? Okay. Now, you may end up in 2 scenarios. Okay, scenario number 1, right, is you are high in this idea pyramid. That means you are creative, but your team is not yet creative. So you need to pull them up, right? You need to pull them up. You need to help your team improve. The other scenario is your team is high up there, but you are quite below. That means you yourself need to do some catch-up work. You need to bring yourself up on par with your team. Right? So in either case, you need to pay attention to this creativity development. Now, how? Right? How to move myself or move my team from level 1, right, all the way up to level 3 or 4. So what you can do is you can follow this process I'm going to talk about today. Is what I call the 3I model, right? 3I model. So it's a process. Right? The first I is the individual mindset. Second I is infrastructure. The third I is ideas. Okay, so more details in my book. And now let me share with you the first I is about individual mindset. Individual mindset. So if I show you this picture, right, what is this? Can someone type it in the chat, right? What is this? Is this like a gift box or something like that? What is this? Is it a museum item or what is this? Okay, so I'm looking at, what's this? Welcome kit, yes. It's a welcome kit, but this is not a normal welcome kit. This is a more like a creative, like onboarding kit. So basically to make the employee experience, right, more creative, to show your corporate culture. Right? So that is one. Another example, right? This is a picture. Okay, so what is this about, right? What is this? What is this? What can this be, right? What can it be? Is it a sailing boat or yacht? Well, actually, this is a co-working space. You may be saying that, hey, Dickson, what? Yes, this is a co-working space, okay? So next time if your colleagues say, hey, today I'm working from here, okay, don't be surprised because this is actually a real co-working space at sea, okay? So what's the first learning point here if you want to build creative human capital? Is to stop saying cannot, start to say why not, right? Stop saying cannot, start to say why not. A lot of time when we are seeing some new ideas, some fresh perspective, we are facing a new problem, then we always say, oh, cannot, that can't be done, could not be. So my first sharing it for you is stop saying cannot, starts to say why not. Right? Small shift, but big implication to you. And how about the second I, right? The second I is what I call the infrastructure. Infrastructure means, right, the way you do things, right? Be creative in the way you do things. Okay, now, for our audience here, I know that, right, some of you are in charge of recruitment, right? You need to do some recruitment. So how do you recruit skilled car mechanics? Right? So assume you are an automobile company. You need to recruit skilled car mechanic, right? What would you do, right? What would you do? Okay. What will you do? So most of us will say that, oh yeah, let's go put it up on a job site, monster.com, recruit.net, or Facebook, LinkedIn, right? Let's go do that. Yes, that is our typical way of doing things. But for this company in Germany, right, the HR director actually asked the team, hey, stop. Don't advertise on social media. Don't advertise on those job websites. Stop. Just go out and get some secondhand cars and bring back to the office, right? Then the HR team was scratching their head. What? We are HR, right? You asked me to go out and get some secondhand car? Then the HR director said, yes, go and get some secondhand car, right? Then after that, no choice. They have to go out and get some secondhand car with a problem engine. And then they tow it back to the office compounds. And then after that, the HR director actually asked the people to print out the job advertisement, roll it, fold it, and then stuff it in the problematic car engine. And then after that, you know what? The HR director asked the HR team, hey, send all this car to different car repairs workshops across all Germany. So they send this car to repair workshop. And you know what? Once the car mechanic in the car repair workshop open up the engine and check, then the job just dropped right in front of the car mechanic. Right? So what's the result, right? The result is 100% reach in terms of ROI. 100% reach. You can't beat this, okay? On Facebook or LinkedIn, the hit rate, open rate can't match this. 100% reach. Okay, so this is one example. Right? Another example is like, how can you engage, right, your employees in a different way, right? In a different way. So most of you may say, oh yeah, let's have some like an office gathering, party, picnic, and some training, whatever, right? Yeah, that's all fine. But what you need to do is you also need to think differently, right? You need to think differently. And this is what I call the celebrate failure, right? So HR can actually be creative in the way you do things, right? By organizing failure party, best failed idea award, right? So this one, okay, of course you guys can learn from Tata, right? So they have this like best failed idea award, and I really think, right, you guys need to consider to do some of this. Why? Because that's the second point, right? This is the second point, the second I. Be creative, right, in your infrastructure. That means don't focus on the content, don't focus on the task, right? Focus on the bigger picture, right? Don't focus on the recruitment task, don't focus on the HR task, but focus on the bigger picture, right? Where are the audience, right? So that is the second learning point for today. And how about, right, the third learning point? Right? The third learning point is what I call ideas. So how can you generate ideas, right? If you want to build creative human capital, you need to make sure that you and your team and the workforce are comfortable working with ideas. Now, in my book, I talk about 11 different ways, right, to work with ideas. But today I'm going to pick the first one, which I think is the most relevant to all of you. It's called the generation of ideas through combination, right? Through combination. That means A plus B, you got C, right? That's what I call combination. So here you have cherry plus Coke. What do you have? You have, can you type in the chat? Combining cherry and a Coke, what you will have? You will have Pepsi. Okay, I like that, creative ideas. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, okay, you have Pepsi. Okay, yes, this is the cherry Coke. This is a cherry Coke. Okay, now I know for some of you, you may argue that, oh, cherry Coke is not a very, very successful product, right? But that's not the point, right? At least, right, the Coca-Cola try, right, come up with this new product, right? So because if you don't try, you never know, right? So that is the first example, right, of a combination. Combining A and B, you got C. Okay, another example, okay, if you combine, right, MBA campus recruitment with casino, right? Okay, so what will you have? Okay, A is the MBA campus recruitment. That means you go to the MBA school, recruit talent. So A is MBA school recruitment, B is casino. If you combine two, what will you have? Oh, you will have this like MBA graduate recruitment over poker. Okay, so this is a real case study because they want to observe, right, the MBA graduate candidates, right, critical thinking and like a social interaction capability. So that is something creative, right? By combining A and B, right, you got something new. Okay, now if I ask you to do some idea generation by yourself, right, typically it's quite difficult. Right? Ideas won't flow out so easily. Right? But you yourself organize in a team or in a workshop or in a hackathon session, okay, ideas will flow out more easily. And so this is the 3I model I talk about, right? 3 ways that you can focus on. The number 1 is individual mindset, infrastructure, and ideas. Okay. Right. Now, before I do the closing remark, right? I want to share with you, okay, the 3I model I talk about today is actually a bigger picture, a bigger framework. So actually, I have 9 different ways that you can use, right, to help develop the creative human capital. Okay. So today I have prepared some free resources for you. Right. So if you like, you can scan this QR code. I will stop here for a minute, let you get the resources so that you can share with your internal colleagues as well, so that you can use it in your internal meeting. Okay, so I stop here for 1 minute, and then after that, I will have a couple slides to do my closing, and then after that, it will be the Q&A. Right? So I'm monitoring the time. Right? So I stop here for 1 minute, and meanwhile, if you have any question, you can type in the Q&A as well.
I have,
so actually, for 1 minute.
Thank you, Dickson. I'm sorry to interrupt. Thank you very much for this. I have a couple of questions. I know we're going
sure.
to
Let's
do
a
panel
yes.
during which I can ask these questions. I just have one because we're running a bit late. So I just want to give you enough time to answer this question. The rest of it, we're going to do it during the panel in a bit, actually, in which you can be there. So there is actually a question from Mr. Emmanuel Zavada. He's another speaker of ours. It's more of a statement. I just want you to elaborate, please. I think managerial coaching and reverse mentoring is also key, considering the fact that the pandemic has brought the use of technology to the fore. What are your thoughts on it, please?
Okay, that's a great question. So the way I see it is this pandemic actually.
Can you unmute yourself, please?
Sure. I think let me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now can you hear
me? You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, I think that I need to trouble the system guy, right? So
Mr. Roy, if he is able to respond to me, just give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, testing.
I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you, Dickson. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so now can you hear me?
Now it's okay.
Now it's good. Okay. So thank you for your question. Right? So the question is for this pandemic, right? How does it affect the way we do coaching and mentoring? Is this a question? Is it a question?
You can stop the share so people can see you and hear you if you don't mind.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So your question is during this pandemic, right? How does it affect the way we do mentoring and coaching? Is this a question?
Yeah, I mean, basically there is technology that has come to the fore now, and because of work from home, it's more of an observation where he says the reverse mentoring and the managerial coaching are key factors in L&D per se. What do you think?
Okay, sure. I think this pandemic opens up opportunity for everyone to learn, right? Not just the junior staff, but also the senior people will also need to learn.
I can't hear you, Dickson. Sorry.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So this pandemic basically provides opportunity for learning, right? For learning, not just for the junior staff, but also for the senior staff, right? The senior people need to know how to embrace technology, how to work virtually, and how to create what I call the digital executive presence in front of the camera, right? Because as a senior leader, typically in the past, right, you use a lot of you do a lot of executive presence in the physical environment, right? But now it's for you to learn how to do it in front of the camera. Okay. Then, yeah, that also opened up opportunity for reverse mentoring because the senior people can learn from the newer generation, because the newer generation, typically, they are more comfortable with technology. So yes, I think this pandemic opened up opportunity for learning, definitely.
That's a positive note. Thanks, Dickson. I think we are going to come back in a short while because we have a panel just after this.
Sure, no problem. Let me finish up my a few slides. I have 2 more slides, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, no worries. We just got a minute, please. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thank you for that. And okay. So my summary is, okay, HR folks, okay, be creative, right? So that your workforce can be creative, right? So that is my message to you, and my call to action to you is use the 3I model: individual mindset, infrastructure, and ideas as a start, right, to build creative human capital, and share all this, right, with your internal colleagues in your next HR meeting, because I believe that future of HR, future of work is about creative human capital, right?